Is the first opportunity we have to take a look at the well as it's being drilled. The drill master is here. We'll see what's happening. So where are we?
So he's just
we're
about
at
to start.
ground zero.
Oh,
He
okay.
hasn't gone in
just-
yet.
You're right at the level.
I'm leveled up, jacked up, set up, ready to start banging.
Okay.
And then this morning it had to rain before I got away.
Yeah.
But anyways,
A lot
I'm
of
close to home, so I could
Yeah.
come and work till midnight
Yeah.
to get
Okay.
my 8 hours in, right?
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
If that's what you want.
The neighbors don't mind.
You had no problems getting your truck in?
No, everything was dry.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
You
just
would've
now
got
that
Right
the-
now, yes, I wouldn't be getting. I would be on here.
Yeah.
We'll poke the well in the
in the house.
In my office.
outside the overhang.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, it was good and dry and everything. But
Good,
it's
good.
amazing what a little bit of rain does.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he didn't touch anything up there, otherwise I'd be working on it.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And I'm on this side of the line,
Yep.
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
Even the front end of the truck.
Yep. Okay, we're going for an update on where the well is. This is Friday night, the end of July 30th, and he's been working all day on the drilling. So let's go and see what he's got to say. No more loads of crushed stone came in yesterday or today. So we've got the same 3 loads that we had earlier. A little bit of slurry. A little bit of persuasion.
It looks like clay slip. Basically what it is.
Yep. Really smooth, huh? Nice stuff to work with. Tricia was referring to the slurry that's down here. Came out of the well.
It is.
Mm.
I got there, but it took a long time. Man,
So did you get another 10 feet or 20 feet?
another 11 feet.
So you're down to 22.
Yeah, I got 20 feet twice. I got the 8-inch in.
Right.
Takes a 10, 12-inch hole to get that in. Thought I was never going to get it down.
Oh yeah?
Wasn't going, huh?
Well,
What was stopping it?
it's gravelly, stony clay.
Do you have to push the stones out of the way
We'll break them up.
or break them up?
Push it in the way.
Yeah.
Break them up, mix them up in the mud.
Okay, we're going for an update as to what's going on with the well. So I'll put this all together in one video, but we haven't been out there lately, and I wanted to give you a sense of what we've been hearing all week as Ralph has been steadily progressing in putting the well together, and last we heard he was in the 60-foot range deep. So let's see what's going on. Here is what we've been hearing all week. So there's the well there, and you're seeing the casing. Why the casing is so high, I don't know. The big rod beside it is a plumb rod to make sure that it's going straight down. And he's loading up the stone. I guess that'll go on the side. How's it going?
How's it going? Better today?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
What was the problem?
I don't know, there's a hard spot there. Stone,
Okay.
stone, gravel. I'm working into it a bit and I'll see what's there. Difference in day and night today.
Really? Okay.
As I say, yesterday I forgot how to drill. Man,
Or you could say that the equipment wasn't quite doing what it was supposed to be doing.
oh, it wasn't doing it was pounding away, but it wasn't doing its job. I swear sometimes you don't know what's going on. I think instead of going down, it was going this way.
Oh.
So, it had settled down a bit there yesterday before I finished. And before I even started putting gravel back to it, it was going on. Which is what it should do.
Okay.
But it helps to stabilize the hole outside so that you're maybe not going out this way.
So that's what this stone's for, yeah.
And stabilizing down below the 20 feet. It actually measures down 37 feet outside. And then the drill would suck some of this down. As I pull out the dirt, this stays its place.
Oh, okay.
And it could have been dirt, I don't know. There's no end to the dirt. If I had a man come home some days trying to tell me what was going on, I think he was crazy. Or he spent the day at the coffee shop. Yeah, because it's just, oh.
So you figure you'll get through another 20 today, or?
No, I'm looking for water before I finish.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. See, I was into that gravel at 4 or 5 feet, and I like to work to the bottom of it.
So is this the casing?
Yeah, that's the final.
You're going to drive that in afterwards?
Well,
Or
I'm driving it in as I go.
Oh, okay.
So you have to drill drive,
Right,
follow
okay.
up with pipe. Now, if I can get ahead 22, which I could to begin with, I put on a full length.
Right.
And the last time I only got ahead 10 feet, but that's fine, I put on a full length because I need casing to work with. In this kind of stuff, you can't get ahead much, so you have to
Right.
follow up with pipe.
So you do a few feet and then you put the casing down a few feet?
Well, and depending on what you're doing, sometimes it's drill and drive inches at a time to get
Oh,
in
really?
in
Okay.
the water formation. But even though the drill has went on this morning, there was still a hard spot there at the casing. See, the drill works inside. The casing,
Yep.
the heavy casing
Yep.
screw is even bigger still. Now it's a hard hand on it, so it cuts rock, but it won't cut a boulder. So the casing, I had to drive on it fairly hard there this morning. Harder than what I would expect for only 60 feet of pipe.
Yeah.
But it depends on the hole. You could have 100 feet of pipe going tight as can be. And you could have 100 feet of pipe just falling in the hole. Depends what you're going for. Sand and gravel is the worst. Sand's like sandpaper.
Yep.
So the shoe's cutting a bigger hole, the sand comes in around behind it, and it just grabs a hold of that pipe. And it can actually lock that pipe, season, that I can't even drive it.
Well, it sort of creates a vacuum then, right? If there's no air pockets in there?
Not so much because the well breathes inside.
Okay. But the outside wall, if you've got the pipe right against something that's really compacted,
And it's just solid.
it's going to create a...
It can create a vacuum or a suction, and it can hold on to the pipe.
Yeah.
I saw my 20-foot 8-inch locked right in just because I had a little trickle of surface water and sand. And the surface water, the trickle, will filter that sand around the pipe and just grab a hold of it.
Yep.
And sometimes you spend a day or two getting that 8-inch out, and it's only 20 feet long.
Yeah.
Unreal. That's when I love to have the ministry. And then they wonder why they find the odd well that the guy gives up, he cuts the 8-inch off below ground and leaves it in the hole, which isn't allowed because the casing breaks the seal,
Yeah.
the grout seal.
Well, it's kind of interesting because we hear it's mostly whatever the bell or where
The bell
it's probably rubbing on the inside of the casing or something.
You'll hear the cable hit the casing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll hear it.
That's that's all that we hear, really.
Yeah.
The driving, we don't hear much of it at all.
I actually find it quite
Soothing?
soothing, like rhythm,
Yeah.
like kind of thing. And then I was
White
wondering,
noise.
It's music to my ears.
I was wondering, like, and then I was wondering about you. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't hear anything, and you kind of like, oh, you know.
What's happened?
I finally took my earmuffs off yesterday because I can't wear them in this hot weather.
Yeah.
And man, they feel like 2 ton on my head, and my neck's been killing me.
Yeah. So do you try
The
earplugs?
thing is, I go by sound,
Yeah.
and when I put anything in, I can't hear what's going on.
Yep,
I
yep.
gotta hear
Yep.
when that machine changes tune or
Yep.
tone or whatever.
Yeah.
As long as I can hear it, I know what's going on. If I can't hear it, okay.
I can get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Anyways, well,
Yep. We'll let you get back to it.
So I just wondered if something sounded different or what, or
no,
No.
we just wanted to see how
When-
if you'd resolved what happened yesterday.
when you feel the trailer starting to sway and move, you know it's time you better come out.
Well, you're not
Check it.
fracking, right?
No.
You're not doing any of that stuff.
It's funny. People talk about that, but we only frack it up here in bedrock. And you have to have a hole in the bedrock to do that.
Yep.
Because they'll go into the rock 46.
There we go. And here's a shot of, I guess we've got 5 additional loads on top of what we had before. And apparently they're going to start doing some pounding, bringing all of that stuff and packing it in to make sure that it's stable.
Okay, and then in 20 minutes it was 8 gallon compared to 10. Everything was slower, but it was in comparison.
Mhm.
In 25 minutes, 7. 30 minutes, it was still 7. 40 minutes, 6.5. 50 minutes, about 6.25.
Is that continuous pumping then? Or?
Yep, continuous. See, I had bailed it an hour in the morning, and then give it an hour of recovery, and then I give it another hour of test.
Right.
So at the end of the hour, it was doing just a little less than 6. But that's normal because it's a 2-hour pump test plus an hour of recovery.
Right.
So now the second recovery was within reason, and actually a foot or 2 lower than the first one. Now the first hour I took out 620 gallons, okay? Second hour I took out 495 gallons. Total of 1,115 gallons. And you're only going to use, you'd be lucky if you use 300 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I took that out, you could say in 3 hours, okay? So, and yeah, figures are, they go down a little bit, that's normal because you're pumping the well, you're exhausting it.
Yep.
That's the idea at this stage, to exhaust it, to either beyond use or it's gonna, to prove that
Replenish
it's gonna
itself.
hold up
Yep.
and replenish itself, yeah. So, as I say, I took out 1,100, over 1,100 gallons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's giving it the benefit of the doubt. That's imperial gallons. So this morning I would rate the well like 6.5, giving it the benefit of the doubt. Could easily be rated 7. Then on my next test I would rate it 6,
Okay.
and which is still good. So it's just 6 gallon a minute an hour. That's 360 gallons an hour, and considering a household of 4 would have to waste water to use 300 gallons in 24 hours.
We're not going to waste it.
No,
Well,
you're
what-
not
That's
gonna
not the
waste it,
intent.
But,
What about gardens and stuff?
Well, yeah.
well, I don't call any of it wasting them,
Yeah.
because you're recycling it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're putting it on top of the ground, it's either going into the ground or it's evaporating and it's going to come back again.
Yeah.
So,
How do we determine the quality of the water? Do you send it off for
I
testing?
check the TDS when I get closer to finish. I'll take a sample and have my water treatment man test it,
Okay.
and that'll give us a base figure on what it is from day one. Then we'll get the pump in it, and you get using it, see what you think of it, and before you ever do anything, have another test done to see if it changes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were saying like, about the hard water, so, see if we
I
actually
have no
like
problem
it.
with hard water.
Yeah, see, we
The
have
TDS at 390 tells me it's not hard, it's
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people want to put water treatment in way too soon, and a well, it'll take 3 months to season before you get an accurate test.
Yeah.
So there's no sense of doing anything for like 3 months, and you have to use it. The more
Yeah.
you use it, the sooner it'll season.
Yeah.
So,
But talking with Roland about, we probably wouldn't hook up the trailer until we actually have a pressure
system.
system in the house, like kind of thing.
'Cause otherwise
we can't.
You may end up with a trickle. I mean, we've got several hundred feet of hose that we're going to actually be dealing with.
Still,
But you're not going to be able to actually run a sprinkler off of it or
yeah,
anything.
you could. You could.
Okay.
See, the sprinkler, one sprinkler is only 3.5 gallons a minute.
Oh, okay.
So if you were normally running a sprinkler at a house, you should actually run no less than 2. In fact, if I had a big house and put in an oversized system, a person should run no less than 3. People don't realize that. And all your new taps are 3 US gallons a minute times 0.8 is 2.4 imperial. So that's all you get out of a tap, which sometimes is a trickle. You think you don't have enough pump or pressure system on the other end of it. It's everything they put in that tap to cut it down, because all taps are low flow.
Right, okay.
So
No, I meant like, going directly to the pump right now to go to the trailer.
yeah,
We wouldn't have, like,
It-
and like you said, you'd have to shut it off. You'd have
well,
to, like,
it would
pick
be
the
nice
things
to
like
have a
that,
system that's automatic.
and then you.
Could
How do you? Yeah, like, I mean, it's kind of going uphill, like, as well,
Doesn't
too.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No.
it doesn't need to go
could
down
we have a shut off on this side?
Yeah.
And it might only be temporary, but be able to save us from walking all the way up the hill all the time.
Yeah. What I'd like
Not
to
that
do
it's much of a
is,
hill.
as soon as they're first thing they're going to do, you're going to start. Well, they're going to lay out the footings, right?
Yep.
And then they're going to start all the plans that goes in the footings and start digging them in. Your number one's going to be hydro, and your well.
Well, the hydro is going to go straight across from where it is. The utility room
but it's
is
going
very close
underground.
there. It'll go underground.
Right,
Yes.
so it's going to be one of the first things going
Yep.
in.
Yep.
And the well.
And the well will be going into the same area. Yep.
Yeah, anything underground's going to go in, because it's got to get in, it's got to get backfilled, and it has to get packed
Yep.
before they can ever think of pouring
Yep.
footings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, when they're fooling around with your heating pipes and everything, that's just all on surface.
Yep. Exactly.
They're going to have all the finished grade, it's going to be all packed. They're going to lay the insulation, the pipes,
Yep.
and everything.
Yep.
And then you're going to pour cement on
Yep.
top of that.
Yep.
But you're going to have whatever drains or, well, even
Yeah.
your septic.
Yep.
Your septic, your hydro, your well, all those major things that are going down further have to be the first
Yep.
thing in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, in fact, they may dig them in before they even start laying out the footing, as long as they know where the footing is.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they're going to lay out the footing, and then, okay, you're going to dig these
Thing, and then it's not in the
hydros
house.
3
Yep.
feet down, the water's 5 feet down, your sewer's going to be maybe 2 feet down.
Yeah.
You're going to be digging all these things in, which is all backtracking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're doing the engineering at this point, right? So it'll be done hopefully this week, so that they can start with footings for next week.
Anyways, if it was spring, yeah, I'd have another gallon or 2 of surface water, but normally that first 20 feet I've got that all shut off, so it shouldn't affect things.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, at this stage I have to put an air vent into my gravel pack. I got a large gravel pack. I got 4 drums of gravel there, which is 200 gallons. Everything's in gallons in my figures. Anyways, I got to put an air vent into it because I'm going to seal the top 20 feet. And the ministry don't understand. When you seal that, you create a vacuum. And vacuums destroy wells as you lower the water level. Now, they don't know anything about these air vents. Anyways, I got to put an air vent in. I have to grout the well, then I got to do my final tests with the machine just to make sure everything's still okay.
So we're going to be graced with your company for a little while.
Yeah, you are.
A few days.
You don't get rid of me that quick. I lose usually a day starting with the 20-foot 8-inch and usually a day finishing up.
Yeah.
If everything goes okay.
Yeah.
Then I got to bring in a test pump and pump it and make sure that my bailing is accurate.
Yep.
Because the MOE says the bailer's not accurate on the machine. Well, I tell them the pump, the bailer, whatever, it's only as accurate as the man that's running it. And if the man that's running it's not accurate, then none of it's accurate.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I will get water running on the test pump, and you can taste it and celebrate, and
Right.
Champagne.
you can get a sample for bacteria.
Yep.
I don't take that anymore. In commercial, I'm not allowed. But you can take them. We used to take them 2 at a time from every well, but not since Walkerton. So. And while I'm doing all that, I'm proving that the source is there and it's going to stay there.
Yep.
Okay, good.
So.
Good.
And then the only thing that's going to change it is time or packers.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Unless we end up with major land shifts of some kind or other due to tectonic kind of. But up here, we're sitting on the edge of the Canadian Shield, right?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't happen.
Shouldn't happen, but you never know today. Now, I don't think I looked up their actual reports on the internet. I looked them up in the old book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they were done in '74. Both of them were done. The one in February and the one in May. Now, that's why I'm not sure which is which.
Well, she's 1450.
I do have them marked that this one here is the deep one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 116 feet. Now, really weird. He hit gray shale at 106 feet to 111. That's 5 feet of shale. That's rare. It's rare to have like 3 feet of shale. Normally you have like 1 or 2. Anyways, he had 5. That was his take, I guess. And then he went into the rock from 111 to 116. That's only 5 feet. Water was found in clay and stones at 98 feet to 106. Brown clay and sand. 5 gallons a minute now, 12 hours developing. That's 4 times longer than normal, which means he had a dirty well. So now, why he only went 5 feet into the rock? If he would just went another 15 feet into the rock, that would have developed it itself. And he could have hit more water. Other than he was maybe afraid of hitting sulfur. A lot of drillers use that for an excuse, but you know what? If you hit sulfur, you just put a plug in the bottom and get rid of it.
Yeah.
Providing you don't hit 30 plus gallon a minute of sulfur, because the pressure behind that, no plug's going to withstand.
Hold it, yeah.
So now sulfur's good for you. Okay, it's good for humans, good for animals. Just you lose all your friends. Okay, they'll come to the door, and you'll answer the door, and they'll turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
He had 5 gallons a minute here. So Well, plus you got how many feet of hose?
Yeah.
You've got,
Little bit of resistance there.
yeah.
200
because
feet of
you
hose.
got
200
extra
feet of-
going to the garden, right?
Yep.
No, 100 feet. There's 250.
Well,
250?
100
no,
feet
these
on?
are 200s.
200.
200, yeah. Normally you'd only have 100. 5/8? Is it?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Something like that, though.
Most of them are 5/8.
Yeah.
Now the other well out on the third line, brown gravel and clay. Strange. He even had yellow clay stones down 48 feet. That doesn't make sense to me either. We don't have that kind of yellow brown clay.
Well, there is a little bit of yellow clay
I
in
had
here.
brown clay here
Yeah.
till 16 feet.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
it turned gray.
Yeah.
And they
It's all
shoulda
on the
had-
top.
They
Yeah.
should have had gray clay at 20 feet.
Yep.
At least. And then he had yellow clay stones down 48 feet. Brown gravel clay 50 feet. His water was found at 50 feet and he was only 2 feet into the water.
Hmm.
Now he had 6 gallon a minute there. And again, his pumping time was 4 hours. Now my pumping time is going to escalate on this one because I'm sitting in gravel.
Yeah.
If I was in bedrock finishing in gravel, by the time you finish drilling, it's developed. So, but this one I did like 2 hours today. I did an hour last day, and I'll do another hour with the machine, which is